Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. We are live. We're so live. I had to pinch myself to make sure. And I bled. I was live. So it's true. Thank you all for coming in to a live event of Doug TenNapel in Exile. I am going over just the bizarrest news for you tonight. I was going to do the Daniel Day Kim thing and can't touch that. The Nikki Haley wanting to go give Trump some love, but he snubbed her. Can't do that. But the New York Republicans trying to impeach Governor Cuomo, that I can do, and that I love doing. Look, there's Mike Miller.
Aloha.
Look at you have the Rushmore. Are you actually in front of Mount Rushmore right now, Mike?
I'm in the future, and I'm in the greater Mount Rushmore area. If you want to expand my scene all the way, you can see the wonderful addition here.
Okay, let's look.
Future to Mount Rushmore. Here we have.
Oh, look, it's Trump. I thought you were pointing to the light stand to the right of Lincoln's head for a second there.
Right.
Okay. Look, the chat's all in. We got 8 million people in the chat already. Thank you guys for showing up and for saying hi.
8 million peeps. What's up?
It's not even, it's 700 people. We'll take 700 people. They want to get the news tonight. There's Jiminy Cricket.
I was just watching one of Jiminy Cricket's videos on Odyssey.
Oh, see,
I noticed that you put your channel up on Odyssey, and I have subscribed to you as well, Doug.
Wait, I did not.
What do you mean?
I'm not on Odyssey. Someone did a fake channel.
Dude. See, because you didn't do it.
Yeah. Some faker put up a
All right, let me search your fake channel here.
Yeah, dude, bring that up. So I have a fake, any social media thing that I don't go, and if you don't take your own name out on it, someone else is going to go and plant on it. So we'll just have everyone mass report that faker channel.
Here you go.
Let's take a look over here at this right there. Look.
Are you sure your Mr. Peabody didn't do it? Your Mr. Phillips?
Bo, did we go on Odyssey? Nope. Not that I know of. How are my views doing? Am I popular? Is that guy making money off of me?
I don't know. This started, 11, 15, 17? Oh, no. I think these are, yeah, dude, I don't know how they can populate the site without your Google password.
Well, maybe they have I don't know. Maybe my other guy might have done it. I'll ask.
All right.
I'll ask before we shut them down and destroy them. I'll ask before I sue them to high heavens. I will just nuke them off the planet.
It's all your stuff, bro.
Weird. Well, I guess I'm on Odyssey making money for someone. I hope he's a good guy.
I'm on there too.
There you go. Look at now. See, automatically. There you go. Well, there's no way they could have gotten that password, so it had to have been
right.
Now let me ask around.
All right. Well, now you don't have to ask how to get on there.
Well, the thing is, I want to get a hold of that guy and ask him what my password is, because then I'll know it. That's how bad. Hold on, let me put on my glamour light. Here's me before, after.
Oh, how glamorous.
A little brighter.
I just have one of these things over there.
Okay, so are you doing news cock out today? What did you find out in the news? What'd you find?
Actually, I was doing a bit of that what you were doing with the Michigan thing.
Yeah.
And I was pointing out, I went back to an older video or an older report where they were trying to get 1.7 million votes thrown out back in November. But, for some reason, they wouldn't look at the evidence back in November. But now suddenly it's okay there.
Which we're okay. I'm okay with them looking at it eventually. Man, they got to get in there.
I just think, they're going to look at it.
Who's this guy?
I don't know. Is that Ellis?
Is that Ellis?
I don't know. Would Ellis put L-Dog?
Would he? Ellis, get on camera. I have a rule. You have to be on camera.
Well,
yeah. Oh, Ellis.
Yo, Ellis, get on in there.
You're ruining my show. Ellis, get on camera. Okay, hold on. We'll do a news thing real quick while Ellis figures out his audio visual. Ellis is 800 years old, so it's cool. He's allowed.
So
Go on.
I had my topic was he did not concede because he has not conceded.
Well,
And
he hasn't, but it doesn't mean anything. You
I
don't need a
here's the thing.
concession.
I think we're in uncharted territory, right? If the Supreme Court, which I hear is hearing something about Pennsylvania tomorrow, if all these courts start realizing all this stuff, I don't know what's going to happen. We're in uncharted territory. I don't know, man. I'm a believer.
I'm not.
I know
I'm
you're
not. You know me. I'm so
Miracles happen.
skeptical. I'm so angry and skeptical. It's disgusting.
You're skeptical of your skepticism.
I'm way skeptical. Okay, look at this. Here's New York Assembly. Well, this is my thing is my biggest reason why I'm a skeptic is because I don't like being hurt. I don't like being hurt by believing stuff, by having a carrot put in front of me and then having my heart broken after 3 years of believing something's going to happen, then it doesn't happen. So instead, I just go, I don't believe it's going to happen. And then I'm never let down when it doesn't happen. So I don't think anything's going to happen, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
But Mike's on the record of saying, yes, he believes something will happen.
I believe in miracles.
I didn't say I don't believe in miracles, but I'm saying
I believe this is a miracle that's going to happen.
And what if you're wrong? What's the cost? Because the Bible has a death penalty for false prophets. Are you ready to sign the document? Are you ready to sign up for that?
I'm not claiming to speak for God. I just believe.
Okay. I'm only saying when someone comes and tells me, because I hear all these word of knowledge, word faith stuff, and I'm going, if you're willing to sign the document, let's hear it. Someone who's willing to risk their life, come on the show and you can share the prophecy. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. Because that's the whole thing. It's like if you're speaking for God. Wait, here's Ellis.
Ellis. Nope, you're muted.
Ellis, get off of mute. Ellis, you boomer. Ellis, you're muted. He's talking and I can't hear him.
Still muted. I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, Ellis used to be my roommate, and look at him over there. He's going, okay, we're going to put this back up.
Can't figure it all out there, Doug. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a perfect Ellis invitation. Here's the New York Assembly Republicans start impeachment process for Governor Cuomo. That's good, right?
Heck yeah. Oh my God.
Mike, give me a prophecy. Is he going to be impeached? Give me what's the percentage of him getting impeached?
New York? 80-20, he doesn't.
I think 100% he's going to get impeached. I think they're going to throw him under the bus.
Really?
Yeah. I think too much. They can't pretend to care about COVID and leave him in office. They have to they're going to have to throw a body under. I think they're going to get rid of the guy.
Aren't they starting to pretend not to care about COVID though?
I know, but now they're being forced to care. And with this high of a body count, this is the most dangerous man in the United States. There's no higher body count than Cuomo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I'm so used to Democrats defending their own, no matter what egregious garbage they do. Yo,
I work now.
Well, they'll defend him. I'm just saying, but I think he's getting thrown under.
That's, you know what? That's the one thing about Democrats. It's they protect their own, man.
That's you, Doug.
Okay, here guys, I'm going to introduce you guys to everyone. These are all the conservatives in your neighborhood. So here's Mike Miller. You guys know him up right from last night.
Hey,
he's a fellow comic book artist. And then these other guys are also conservative Christians in comics. Look below me. There's Doug, Redneck Doug.
Howdy.
You could play the banjo if you wanted to be generous for my audience. He does play the banjo. Tell them about your blue collar job and how you also do comics.
Yeah, I work with people with disabilities.
Yeah, you're like a nursing care guy.
Yeah, I take care of people, take them out, and spend a lot of time with them, and it's a fun job. It can
Doug
be
is currently taking care of Ellis.
Yeah, I would put Ellis in my care, but okay, throw one down for us, Doug. Go.
Oh, it's not in tune, Doug.
Okay, you tune.
That's awful, Doug.
That's awful. You gotta, you have to tune that thing.
You know what?
And
There's a chance that banjo might have been made right across the street here in San Diego. There's one of the biggest banjo factories in America is in San Diego.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, then wait, hold on. Thanks for the banjo update there, Mike. If people want to hear the banjo played, they don't want to hear it talked about. Okay,
right.
And then Ellis here on camera. Ellis is Mike's and my mutual oldest friend. So I've known Ellis since 93.
My
92.
God.
93 for me.
And then he and Mike shared a studio for a while. But Ellis is a great comic creator and a great animator, and he worked with me in video games. We worked at the company, the Neverhood, together. So that's our background.
That's what's missing from Mike's background is he probably never has animated. Otherwise, he'd probably be just that much better.
Oh, and he'd love animation that much more.
Well, does he animate? Do you animate, Mike?
No, he doesn't.
I've done some. I did the.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you do.
Right,
you do like title sequences and stuff like that for your shows.
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't really do that. I did the sprites for the Mirror's Edge 2. 2D.
Okay, enough about games real quick,
Okay.
Ellis, because you're the guy that was really into a Rush Limbaugh all the way back to 93. That was towards the start of his career. You were a Rusher every day. Would you like to weigh in on Rush passing yesterday? What are your thoughts on him as a man and as a political pundit and just as a personality? What's your big take home on that?
Well, for me, Rush was always the North. What do you call it?
North Star.
North Star. He was the guy that always had it right. There wasn't everyone else. You could tell, like Glenn Beck's and everything. They were doing the face and the Cheetos kind of stuff. They were doing crap, and Rush never had that sort of side to him. If he was doing anything, he was trying to keep us all steering toward where we could all be in a better place somewhere. Maybe if we ever got a hold of the monster that was making things bad for all of us.
Was he playing it safe when he would never like deeply throw behind a candidate? I know that he was behind Trump more than any other candidate, but he was never still like rah, Sean Hannity, bury the needle Trump.
Well, I mean,
he was a populist.
You get penalized for deciding that all of a sudden, in other words, you'd have to account for it. You'd have to say, okay, of course, this last election, they must have thrown $1 trillion toward Biden in terms of like free advertising and all that. But that's what he was always afraid of. He'd lose his status as an amateur,
as
in terms
an
of
impartial over.
Yeah.
Plus, he was more about the philosophy of conservatism than the actual candidate. Because
they had Dinesh D'Souza just ran a poll. He asked who was more influential, Bill Buckley or Rush. And I said, this is a bad poll. Rush was all about trying to channel as best he could that Bill Buckley purity of small government conservatism.
Yeah.
But
just in far as reach, I mean, no one's more influential than Rush. I mean, there's no Bill Buckley was there. Bill Buckley influenced the smart intelligentsia. That was his biggest influence. He got into all of the think tanks.
Which they're too smart now because the National Review is a cesspool of dummies anymore.
Yeah, I know the National Review and Commentary Magazine. I listen to the editors and all those guys still, and they're just gone.
Yeah,
gone. So
the modern audience wouldn't have had the patience to listen to William Buckley either.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the modern audience has got no patience for. Well, they listen. I'm sorry. I used to love that. They listen to Rogan for 3 hours at a stretch. But Rogan is is a middle class guy.
Yeah, he's also an anarchist. He's not a true conservative. F that guy, Doug. Yeah, Rogan. Well, I can see why he's so huge, because everyone who left politics and hates politics and is done with politics, they're going to go to that guy. But he won't stake out a claim and ever say, this is what's true, good, and beautiful.
Right.
He'll never say, like, this is the North Star. He'll just go play it safe and go, hey,
Unless you
I'm-
get
I'm-
there
I'm-
by a drug experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's open to anything. It's like he's
Yeah.
more excited about drugs than life.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, but I mean, I wouldn't discredit his career. I'm saying his career
And
is
I'd go
huge.
and I'd go on his show in a moment.
I don't know if I'd go on a show. I would go on a show if he asked me for weightlifting and wrestling pointers. I might give him some cage match pointers.
Yeah.
Other than that, he'd be lucky to come on my show. Doug, speaking of being lucky to be on my show, fellow Doug, Doug top, Doug bottom, Doug.
With your out of tune.
It's like Dig Dug.
Yeah. I don't think I've had my banjo tuned since the last time I was on one of Doug's streams.
Well, you should be tuning that thing, and you should be jamming spreading your love to all the people.
I should be, but I just don't.
Doug, I'd like you to provide us with a commentary on the Cuomo thing. This guy, is he going to be impeached? Should he merely be impeached, or should he also be tried for murder?
I think the dude ought to be tried for murder. I mean, not just should he be tried for murder, but all of his accomplices, Hollywood, all the people just covered up for him.
Yeah,
they made sure
because you actually work in the kind of a nursing home where he's sticking sick COVID people, putting them right back in the nursing home.
Yeah, I mean,
and then covering it up that he did it.
Yeah, and those people are already. They're stuck in a place most of them don't want to be. They're depressed. Depression is huge.
Yeah.
It seems like they want to wipe these people out.
Yeah. Well, depression is huge among the retirement community as it is. And for people who are out there who are depressed, Doug, what kind of advice would you give them on how to stay connected? Like, where do they find each other?
Well, now you can find each other on the internet.
But does that cover the human warmth they need to talk to each other? The internet, or do they need a real person?
I think you need a real person, and I think everybody should just go back to normal. Here in my little town, everything's back to normal. I can go to Walmart. I don't have to wear a mask. Nobody questions anything. People's going back to church. Everything's fine. There's still people getting COVID. There's people getting sick, but we don't even have a hospital here. Our hospital closed down. You think of if everything was as bad as they say, my entire town would be wiped out. Yeah. And I'm not saying COVID's not serious. I'm not saying, Yeah,
it's very serious, but depression is also serious, and it's cruel.
You can't live your life in fear. And when you cut yourself off from the world and you don't go outside and stuff, your body's not made to just be in darkness. You're made to connect with other people and to be outside.
I would rather die of COVID than be alone. Period.
Yeah, I would too.
I'd take my chances out there with the pandemic over being alone. I could not do it. So, okay, so you're a banjo playing man, you're a nursing care worker, and you also produce comics. Are you still doing comics, or are you done with that? Are you in?
I'm actually working on one right now. With everything going on in the world, it kind of had to take a back seat. But I'm working on issue 2 of my comic called Lone Wolf. So hopefully it'll be done here in probably about 6 months or so.
Yeah. Okay. So and Ellis, you're a senior man. Your age, you're like 5 years older than me, right? You're like 60, 65.
I'm older than that, Doug. I'm 67 years old, and I scraped my whole driveway the other day. I got stuck in my own driveway twice.
Are you buried in snow?
Yeah.
Okay, so like me, Doug, are you buried in snow?
Yeah.
Where are you at? Tell them where.
I'm just a couple hours east of you, actually.
Yeah, you're on that side of me. Yeah, to the east of me. So Ellis, tell me about burying, because you used to live in San Diego with Mike and I. We used to all be in San Diego.
Remember those days? Living in San Diego. Mike, look at him. He's sitting up there.
Do you have any sympathy for Mike, even though California's brain dead and mental abuse?
Guy looks like outside right now.
Is there any sympathy for him with getting to go outside right now and just go for a jog and eat a big old carne asada burrito?
I just wonder, I used to always drive over there to the bridge and cross it to get to North Island. And I would always think, looking up toward Mission Hills and stuff like that, look at all those people packed all over top of each other. If anything ever goes wrong in terms of like the bureaucracy and everything, this place will just fly to pieces in terms of like being mismanaged.
Yeah.
And you feel like it has, but at the same time, it's still paradise on Earth. As far as
You hear that, Mike? It's still paradise.
It's all
I
weather,
assume.
bro. It's all weather.
Yeah,
It is. It's all
about the
weather.
weather.
And
There's
weather's
one
a
reason
whole
I'm
lot.
not your neighbor, Doug, and it's the weather.
Mike, we breathe weather. So I'm just saying it's kind of important.
Yeah, it is.
You
Well, it's
breathe.
like Scott Adams says, he retold this story again this morning about one time where he got caught out in the elements, and he swore to himself then where he was close to death, trying to make his way toward a likely point where he could find somebody to help him. He said, if I ever get out of this, I'm going to sell the car just as soon as I can and go to California.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, and he never looked back when he was just a kid.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I was up in Pine Valley this weekend for the church camp, and it was in the 40s, and I was like, I don't know how anyone can deal
How
with
can
this.
anybody survive this? Yeah.
Mike,
It wasn't even
outside, it's
snowing
very-
or raining or anything.
This is
It
the
was
worst snow.
cold.
We moved out here to Tennessee, like, what is it, 8 years ago, 10 years ago? This is the worst snow I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It is-
you
That
get
was a prophecy, Doug.
prophecy.
That was one of the prophecies from
Okay.
some
Okay.
head dude. He's like, when he was doing all this stuff, one of his, it'll be like snow, it'll be crazy snow, and I'm like, how is snow a prophecy? And then suddenly it's like the worst snow season in a generation.
I don't comment on prophecy. I will comment after it has successfully happened. Then I go, okay, yeah, I will no longer question that one now that it has come true. But every other prophecy you have.
Well,
I'm
you
just
guys
saying.
know it's just climate change.
That's
They've
all.
been telling you for years.
Yeah, it's a prophecy, but it's also climate change. So we've all watched the cult of global climate change people, that whole thing rise up right under our noses in the last, I'd say, 10 or 15 years. The global warming thing is
smart people that really go all in on that kind of bug me because I want everybody to be at least as cynical as I am, that what we're talking about is a new benchmark of $1 trillion for budgeting, and that without big government step-ins to it, that they don't get the trillions.
Yeah.
And that's what to be cynical about. I mean, that's what there is to be cynical about, is that it's follow the money.
Well, and
also it's control.
Marxism's all about a redistribution of wealth. So
Yeah.
any way that you can have the government move some item out of someone's pocket and put it in someone else.
It's the passion for getting Trump out of the way. They want the pipeline between them and what they've got in mind for the the budget to get out of their way. So,
Speaking of that, did you see that HR 484 garbage
Yes.
out today? Oh,
Yes.
is that the one where they're trying to get rid of Trump as far as being buried?
So
buried in Arlington.
I might do a video on this tomorrow, but I was just looking at the documents on the governor.gov website where HR 484, Mike?
484, yeah.
484, it allows them to especially punish someone who's been twice impeached so that it screens out Clinton, but includes Trump.
Special category, yeah.
Special category, so he
Twice
doesn't get.
impeached.
It would be like what? It would be like a presidential library, keep him from lobbying. What are the other punishments just for Trump?
Oh,
Okay.
no building that has Trump's name on it can get federal. So you can't name a school after Trump. You can't name a library after Trump. You can't name anything after Trump, or it gets no federal funding.
And then
Okay.
they got the nerve to add the word hate to the thing, like they were anti-hate.
Yeah, it's called the No Glory for Hate Act.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
man.
like,
what a cartoon! What a cartoon!
It's so ridiculous.
Okay, is that one going to pass? Is that going to make? I don't see how it passes. They have a simple majority
what,
pass.
what are the numbers? If it's a
Yeah, that's what
majority, they might get it.
But is Manchin going to do that?
Simple majority, I think they got it.
Oh,
Squishy
really?
Manchin.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then it
there's-
was overturned in the next majority.
It's got to be signed. It's got to go through all of it. But
the more they try to punish Trump, the worse it's going to be for them. It's going to come right back on them tenfold. If they just sit here and abuse this guy and keep him in the limelight, by the way, for 4 years, all that's going to happen is they're going to start talking about this thing. It's going to become news.
Yeah.
And when Trump starts his media company, which he's going to do, which is
I saw that. that you did a
Yeah.
thing on it.
Ellis, 10 times more powerful than him sitting in the White House is sitting on top of a media company.
Oh yeah.
His reach, and he will absolutely own and run politics if he starts a media company.
Well, I'm just a little disappointed in Trump that some of his notions of himself didn't pan out, that he couldn't figure out the best people.
Yeah.
'Cause that's all that was lacking there. It's like, just get people as loyal to you as Rudy, all up and down and through it, and then be ruthless about some of the stuff that Biden is doing, like all those firings that are going on right now. It's like, man, that's what Trump needed to do, but he looked around himself, and I think you have to be intimidated by saying, I can't get rid of 200 people right away just because I know they're likely to be what I don't want, you know.
Well, Trump is still a politician. He did go in. He didn't play it. He didn't sell out the way most politicians do because he still had a core. But he still knew how to play and when to play. I mean, when he did that Stockholm syndrome staring after the on January 6th, when he gave that speech, everybody go home in peace. I'm going, holy cow, they've got a gun to his head.
Right.
I don't want to be pedantic about this, but I made this point earlier on my show. Trump's not a politician. Trump is the ideal. Trump is the ideal. Trump is the ideal that the founding fathers wanted. Someone who came out of the real world to serve a term or two and then go back into it. That's not a politician.
That is a politician.
A leader.
You believe in the wrong definition of a politician, what it's become, instead of simply what it is, which is a guy that runs for office and holds a public office and then has to make certain deals. For instance, Trump had to make deals with Mitch McConnell to get his 100 judges that he and McConnell worked arm in arm together with to get placed. And then when it's time to get rid of Mitch because Mitch is a screw job, you dump him. That's a political move. It's as much but it's good politics. It's not bad politics. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think of the word politician very derogatorily. So.
Yeah, I don't. I see the word politician as the same thing as pastor. It's there are
it can't be
pastors.
anything, can it?
Are they not? Are there some scummy pastors? Yes, but are all of them scummy because some or even most are? No, of course not. Politician is it's a guy that puts his pants on every day and he goes out and he does politics. Some are truly evil and scummy and sellouts and swamps, and some of them are worth a darn and worth fighting and protecting.
I'll stick with my definition.
And if Trump runs again, he's going to be in politics. He'll be back in politics. And by the way, if he runs his media company, it's going to be a political commentary media company.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to run everything. He's going to decide who wins in 2022. He's going to decide who runs in 2024.
I wish I was optimistic about the idea of an important Republican ever winning again. I think they've got it figured out. I think this was a big crucial door they went through on this. Stealing this.
Suddenly they care about they get election. It seems like suddenly they care about making sure there's no fraud in the.
Well, we've already talked about. I already did a video today on Michigan cleaning up its voter rolls. 170,000 voters kicked off the voter rolls. There is a ton of work on cleaning up the election. All of the dirty work on the election, it was not done.
I'm
going to tell you something.
Cleanup.
It was not done by a genius. It was not done by strength or power. It was done because everyone looked the other way and wasn't paying attention. They got away with it because we weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Well,
no, I think a lot of people were paying attention. We just weren't. I mean, like the courts wouldn't look at the evidence. That's kind of a
Well, but that was new. That was new.
The billionaire wasn't old. Zuckerberg working on that is one of the most important people for the mail-in balloting that went on.
Yeah.
And,
but there's also Stacey Abrams' ground game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a political hack on the ground. Did more damage in Georgia than anyone at Facebook could have. by setting up a grassroots ground campaign in Georgia. And all the Republican volunteers sat there and went like, blah, 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 and stared and watched her do it going, I wonder why they're loading up the polls.
Yeah, well,
I wonder
Stacey,
why.
I think they just
she understands.
Go the same way it always done.
They thought it would be
They
same
just
old,
sit
same
back
old.
and it's going to be it's always red. We've got this. And
You wait till you see how the Republicans, when we step up our game, even if it's a Patriot Party or if it's Trump's media company, whatever it is, the grassroots conservatives at the next election, it is going to be a complete right-wing wipeout. You watch, the conservatives will come roaring back. We're absolutely going to bust their chops in 2022. So Ellis, on this whole idea that we passed a point of no return.
Go ahead, let Mike interject. He's enthused.
Okay,
Go
I don't. It's YouTube, so there's certain things you can't say.
That's right.
Number 80 million is legit. This was the biggest quote unquote wipe out in the history of politics.
Sure.
And
it doesn't, and Mike, it doesn't do any good if everyone sits back and just says, I'm just going to let that one guy in charge do it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you're saying that. Oh yeah, we're going to get up and we're going to do that. We did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It was a landslide.
No, it didn't.
Landslide.
No. Wait. I'm not denying the vote. Okay. I'm denying the counters and the volunteers at the ground level. We got outplayed by far in every swing county. So I'm saying hey, guess what? The next time our next guy can win by 150 billion votes. It will not matter if you don't have a ground support game. If you make him pull that thing all by himself, it ain't going to work.
What is the famous Stalin quote?
Yeah, it's who counts the votes.
It's not the vote that counts. It's
those of us who've been reading freaking Das Kapital and Solzhenitsyn for 30 years know this. It is who counts the votes. Mm-hmm. Right. And people are still complaining, going like, no, it's Trump. It's Trump. It's got to be Trump. It's not just Trump. If you don't get the ground game in there to count the votes, to run the polls, to volunteer, it's over. That's why I'm saying my confidence comes from.
I've never walked in to vote where I didn't feel like everybody behind those little fold-up tables were going to throw my vote away the moment I got done voting.
I know. You already know. It's just like, it's absolutely, it's terrifying to watch. It's same thing with jury duty. When I see the peers on the jury, I'm going like, ugh. That's our justice system? Okay.
Right.
All right. Well,
people who weren't smart enough to come up with excuses.
Yeah, dude. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I probably can't say this in public about what I do on jury duty, but it's,
I haven't been on jury duty since I was 18.
Those of us who are independent artists who have to work, I have no interest. And every time I've been on a jury, it's been for some rip-off slip and fall case.
Yeah, exactly.
Going, why? This is such a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've ever. They tried to get me for, and then they asked if anybody had any experience, and I raised my hand and says, "Yeah, my family was sued once, and you're off."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to tell them I volunteer. I literally have donated money and have volunteered for tort reform.
There we go.
And just automatically like, okay, you're dismissed. I go, thank you.
That'd be a good baseball cap. Tort reform.
Well, they would say, don't you think you can still be fair? I go, not after what I've seen. I go, I'll be as fair as I can, but I'm telling you right now, you're crazy to put me on a jury.
Yeah,
you're crazy to put me on a jury.
I've got a great nose for BS.
Yeah. Let's get in there. What do you guys think of this one? The Nikki Haley is the big thing. Is that a big deal or is that not a big deal?
I don't know. Catch me up.
Okay, here we go. This is the big Nikki Haley snub news. This is like a soap opera too. Nikki Haley tried to get a meeting with Trump, but he shot her down. I assume that doesn't mean that she came over by plane. But she was trying to get a meeting, and he's like, no. So I don't know if he's
how recent is that story? Is that today or what?
That's today. No, that's the 18th. So that's today. Only the newest news on this channel, guys. If you like this channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Of course, you got to do your job. I'm doing my job bringing these great guys on. Mike Miller has his channel, Unapologetic American. Ellis Goodson. Ellis, what's your channel called?
It's called Ellis Goodson YouTube.
Ellis Goodson on YouTube. And then Doug, what's your channel?
I can't remember.
Called I Can't Remember on YouTube for good redneckery. I just remember there's one time when you were shooting a comic book with a bunch of guns, and I really liked that one.
Yeah. Just search DG310. I believe it's under that.
DG310,
Or,
impossible.
Somebody shooting.
Can we bring that video up? No, just kidding.
Well, yeah, exactly. I would get so channel struck on that one; it would be terrible.
We've done enough to get channel struck about 10 times already. I think.
Oh yeah, I know. If they do the voice recognition thing,
I named for a joke, for the sake of a joke, and to get clickbait hits. I named something Trump wins, Biden concedes on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It's gone. I saw a guy do that with the Biden one too, and he got his channel struck so fast.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the science side of playing with the YouTube algorithm to find out how it works.
Yeah. I've tried to get canceled a couple times on Twitter just because it'd be better for me. I label something at Jack every now and then, and
okay, Rock Zenez says Haley is a traitor, but she's a pretty traitor. I'm just saying.
She was our UN person, right? She did a little bit of tough stuff.
She was very good, and she knew how to walk the line. Also a good politician. Doug TenNapel, 2024. No way in hell I'm running for anything.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you that I should run, but
no, you've got to just think how special Trump is. Cruz has got it too. He could care less about all this stuff that's being aimed at him right now. He's tough enough. He's one of these guys that he gets it that you aren't any better.
Are you
than
falling
him.
for the Cruz went to Cancun? He came back home terrified, because he and his family went to Cancun, and then he had to turn around and come back because everyone complained, going, "How dare you go on vacation when your state is covered in snow, guys? It's snow."
Yeah.
I guess he should have been out shoveling. I don't know.
There is a huge body count though associated with there's a car wreck and people freezing to death or something, right? Is there a big? I know there's a big body.
I'm really wondering how many lives green energy is going to cost this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, all of them.
That's infrastructure stuff that took them out there. They just weren't ready for it. I had my power out for 8 days here, and that's tough when you're
in Oklahoma.
Goes off. Yeah.
You've had the power out 8 days.
Yeah, right at the end, right around Halloween, we had a bad ice storm that just broke every tree in town.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it just everything went out. And
Ellis, wasn't your first thought, I wish the government would come in and put some infrastructure here? Wasn't that your first thought?
I understood that everything that had needed to be repaired up until that point and in readiness for a bad situation was not. And so that's what you learn. I mean, right now, Texas is full of people that are kicking each other in the hall saying, "No, it's your fault."
Yeah. So Ellis, you're a senior gentleman. What's your percentage level of COVID fear? You've had lung problems.
All right, that's the last time anybody calls me. I'm
gonna smack you with my buggy whip.
That's the last time anybody calls me that.
You call me that again. But Ellis, you've only got like a quarter of a lung. So like what's your level of COVID fear?
You know what? I have almost none, but it's because until it happens to you, I don't think there's any point in being worried about it. But the only thing that gave me a reality check is Brian, your friend Brian Shearer.
Yeah,
he got it.
Yeah, our young friend Brian, who's like black belt Krav Maga and just in the best shape ever. He got wiped out by COVID.
That made me feel like it's real. Up until this point, it's like Trump. It's like Trump just walking right through it. It's like, okay, that's what really happens to people that get this.
Brian is one of the few guys I even know who has had it. I know so few people who've even had it. My parents have had it, of course. I know them.
That's the thing is that we don't live in like some little small town, nobody knows anybody kind of a situation now. Every one of us is now through social media connected to thousands of people.
Yes, exactly.
And still you're like, how many people do you know that have had COVID?
I know Brian.
It doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up for how many people. I know far more people who lost their job from COVID than who have had COVID.
Yeah, this isn't a plague. This is a cold.
And Brian might be working some sort of angle. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I already tried getting him to do I tried getting Brian on the show again. I said, Brian, come on the show and you can be like my sick guest. You can tell us what it's like. He goes, oh no, I can't even breathe. And I'm like, no, you'd be very big in entertainment if I could like interview you while you're half choking.
Yeah.
While you're drowning in your own mucus.
Yeah,
Come on my show.
Your own fluids.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to wrap this up because I smell dinner going. We'll do this again, guys. I'm just going to keep sending this invite out. And those of you in the In Exile fan base, the Exile Army, you're going to love these guys as we rotate them in and talk about that day's news. I'll just bring them in every once in a while. I'm trying some live show stuff. I need all of you to subscribe, though, to make it worth my while and to give me my jollies. This is a giant test where for some reason I started doing live streams and suddenly I would get like 500 new subscribers. So I go, well, why not do another live stream and see what happens? If you click subscribe, I will keep doing live stream shows with gentlemen just like these rednecks, old men, and and half Japanese Bitcoin fanatics.
Hey, man, I got like, I don't know, 800 subs from yesterday's show.
Yeah, one wealthy guy. Yeah,
good. So real quick, guys. Mike, you guys, you got 800 of you subbed to Mike's channel. Mike, go to Mike's Unapologetic American channel. He's fantastic. I will take all of your links that you guys send to me on Twitter and put them in the description so people who want to find you can subscribe. Usually I start monetizing the video and hopefully it doesn't get demonetized, but you never know.
This isn't is this your popular channel?
This is the popular channel. Yeah. Oh. I didn't throw you on my burner art channel, which is the channel.
I thought I was on your burner art channel.
You know, the big time there, Ellis.
No, Ellis, this is the big time channel.
Oh my God.
If we were on the burner art channel, we would all be drawing, which is what's going to happen when I draw again, if I ever get back to that. There's Mike with a comic book. Let's get that up on camera.
Look at that thing. Look at
that. Yeah. Look at that.
The next cover for the Game of Thrones comic.
Mike does covers for Game of Thrones comic book, which, you know. Come on, guys. All right. This has been Doug TenNapel Exile. God bless you all. Thank you all for watching and support these guys. I'll put their links down below. Give them a sub, give them a listen. But most of all, thanks for giving us a listen now. And I get to hang with these guys. I've hung with these guys for, I will hang with them for the rest of my life anyways. So
we'll hang separately.
And Doug, go tune your freaking banjo.
I will, I promise.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be. When Doug throws down the banjo, there ain't a dry eye in the house.
You could be teaching online banjo playing if you'd been ready.
Yeah, and Ellis, get on your kazoo, and Mike, get on your theremin. This has been Doug TenNapel.
Theremin.